This is the Vyper Turbo from BlackZon. Now, BlackZon is a brand by HPI Racing. It's their budget brand. But some of you might be thinking, well, I thought Maverick was HPI Racing's budget brand. Well, you're right, it is. It kind of goes HPI Racing, Maverick, then BlackZon. So they're the 3 tiers for HPI. This is generally their own stuff, so all the R&D and the design stuff, the licensed stuff is here. And then you got Maverick, which is kind of some of their own like tweaks, but a lot of off-the-shelf stuff. From what I can remember, nothing from Maverick is like licensed or anything. Then right at the bottom of the pile, you got BlackZon, which is purely just off the shelf. So this is just basically stuff from a generic chassis with the BlackZon name and the design on it. I believe a lot of it is HBX, which is a good thing because HBX stuff is very good. And the last BlackZon like turbo thing I had was the Smiter, I think it's the Smiter turbo. That thing was an absolute tank. So hopefully this is very similar to that. And it does say 3S capable, which again was the same as the Smiter turbo. I expect when this gets released, there'll be a non-turbo version, which will be like a lesser brushless one or even brushed, or just not 3S capable. I'm pretty sure the turbo and the 3S capable go together. They are just my assumptions, including how I think the HPI like structure is from top to bottom. Might not be 100% accurate, but I'm probably not far off. This is good to see. It means we're going to have the tougher diffs in it. That is good news. Vyper Turbo. Fancy little box. Is it under it? Wow, there it is. Master the track. Dominate. So in the box we get a set of instructions, a guarantee and important information, stickers, a charger, a wheel wrench and some spare body pins, a quick start guide, the transmitter, which has steering trim, steering dual rate and throttle trim. It's got an A and B button on the back there. They're probably not going to do anything. And overall, not bad. I mean, it's not the best transmitter out there, but I'm sure it will do the job. And then this is the truck. I think we need to get the stickers on first before we have a proper look at it. And I expect I'm going to have to take some of the... Oh, I might be all right, actually. Remember to take this clear film off before you put any stickers on. Luckily, this thing hasn't got loads of trim that you have to remove first. Although it has got some on the roof and... There we go, all done. A pretty generic looking short course truck body. I'm not too keen on the colours. Blue, orange, white, black and some carbon effect. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. It's not that bad, it's just I'm not too keen. I don't know if they do any other colours though. At least we haven't got all them like Traxxas and Armour style, whatever you call them, like stuff. You can hear them metal gears in there, HD metal gears. A spare wheel on the back, that is a real one as well. It's attached on. Got a little like wing nut thing on there, just in case you have a blowout. Ooh. Suspension, feels nice, which I'd expect from a, I guess, OEM HBX. And that's because it's got these big bore, fully adjustable oil shocks. Nice. So there is your brushless motor. I'm not sure of the KV, I'll put it on the screen. Has a heatsink on it. Warning, burn hazard. Do not touch the motor until it has cooled down. You can't tell it's cooled down unless you touch it, right? So brushless motor, that is a 2-in-1 ESC and a receiver. Initially I thought it was separate because that looks like a separate receiver, but that is all one. Got a cooling fan on there, a Dean's connector, servo, a relatively small battery tray. Comes with a 1600 milliamp hour 2-cell, so 7.4 volts. But as it says on the box, it is 3S capable. And I've got this big fat CNHL 3S. I've tested it and it will just about squeeze in there, so we will run it 3S as well. Fully adjustable camber, toe is not adjustable. Some big chunky drive shafts, they are CVDs. Like I mentioned, metal diffs. Same at the back, metal CVDs. Bearings all round. Tyres are quite a hard compound, we'll see how they hook up. And then a pretty generic chassis design underneath. Nothing special about that. It is all crosshead hardware. Also got some lights at the front. And a single, is that a single light at the rear? That's pretty funky. Couldn't see any speed claims on the box, so we'll throw a 2S in it, we'll make sure it works. We'll go and see how fast it is. We'll throw a 3S in it, we'll see how fast it is, and then we'll give this thing a rip around. It should be, looking at this chassis, I do recognise it as a, like I've said a couple of times, a generic HBX style, which is a good thing because they are very tough, very capable. tried and tested. They've been around for years. And the fact that this is going to be available, well, for us in the UK, and I expect for some of you guys in other countries as well, hopefully that'll mean also that we can get spares a bit easier. Couple of double A's, press and hold. There's your rear light, there's your front light. I like that. I like that rear light. That's pretty cool. Steering, not the fastest, but seems pretty strong. Right then, I've made a little bit of an error. I brought a 2S and a 3S LiPo, but I did forget to bring an adapter for the 3-cell. It's got an XT60 battery, and this is a Dean's plug, so we'll have to do a 3S run at the end of the video, I think. Bit of a trek to go all the way back to get an adapter and come back here, but at least we can see what it's going to do on 2-cell. Oh, signal's not good. Come on, there we go. Full throttle. Not crazy fast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I have not adjusted my steering dual rate down, which is what I usually do before a speed run. But that was all right. Definitely struggled a bit with the signal. Yeah, I can hear it. It's sort of like jumping. It's like bat, bat, bat. We're going though, we're going. I reckon 24. Which would be all right on 2-cell. It means we're going to probably be getting close to 40 on 3. It goes nice and straight. Brakes. Drum roll. What did I say? 24. 23. Close enough. 37 kilometers an hour. Right, let's rip it around on this gravel. We'll see how hard it is to control. Problem with these, like, I mean, this is what, 1/16. Problem with these, the smaller they get and the shorter that wheelbase gets, the harder they can be to control. Although, yeah, this one's not bad. No gyro on board, but this is one of the slipperiest surfaces you can get. A bit of wet dirt and gravel, and actually, one-handed with gloves on as well, which makes it a bit harder. It's not bad. Stock battery. I've got the 3S and I've got the adapter, so we'll throw that in a minute and give it a proper rip. I don't know if I've got enough space here. That's really stable on this surface. Not that surface though. I got a 3S and there's a bit of tarmac there. I'm not sure it's enough space to get a good speed run, but we'll give it a try. Anyway, I'm going to run this battery down, hoon this thing about, and then, well, throw that 3S in. Right, no idea if we're going to be able to get this to hook up and go full speed. Well, I might be able to actually, that's pretty quick. That is quick on 3. Right, I've got to pick my braking zone wisely. Here we go. Full throttle. Whoa, 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 whoa. There goes the GPS. Full throttle. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was very close. I think we got just enough space. That's full throttle. And brakes. Yeah, we're good. That's about as good as we're gonna get. Certainly rips on 3-cell. Needs to find a bit more of an open space, I think. 37, that is not bad. I reckon it's got a little bit more in it. It is about 4 degrees C today. So I reckon it's probably got 40 in it on a nice warm day with a bit more road. I can't get it to turn off. You have to just press it once, I think. Nope, I can't get it to switch off. So it won't turn off, and as soon as you plug the battery in, it switches on. So I don't know if we've got a little bit of water in it or something, but oh, this thing flies. I like coming over to this place. Now I know it's not got any sort of like crazy jumps, and it's not like some of the dirt tracks I go to. But when I see people like messing about with their own stuff, A lot of them are just on like ground like this, on fields, sort of out the front of the house, around roads and stuff. So I think this is more relatable to most people, because not everyone's got just like dirt tracks and skate parks on their doorstep. So we'll rip it around here, the same as what a lot of you will probably do. And honestly, on 3-cell, it's a little ripper. Doesn't seem to have lost any of its speed on grass as it had on road. It's proper flying along. Let's see if we can get a little bit of air. Bit of air time. Easy. It seems relatively stable, even though it's going rapid. It's going over these bumps, and yeah, it's pretty stable. Obviously, you need to be careful on the steering when you're going full throttle. Not doing great with my one-handed driving skills today. Had this and another little short course out today, but yeah, my driving isn't up to my usual standards. But it's my preferred method for getting some cool shots rather than a head cam. There's no delay on it, but there's a bit of throttle there where there's nothing. So yeah, could do with throttle trimming, but you can't trim it on the controller. I don't know whether you can calibrate the ESC, but that would help. Anyway, it's a little ripper. I mean, ideally on 3S, this thing's going to need a gyro because, well, it's a little bit of a handful. I mean, it is relatively controllable, as you can see, but would definitely benefit from a gyro. But man, this thing is a little beast. A little beast.